Hi everybody, welcome back to el podcast del Salón de Idiomas. Hi Rox, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I was wondering just a second before we actually started.
Uh-huh.
You were just saying, "Oh, I think I'm not gonna get over this feeling," of I don't know what. Well, how would you describe this feeling whenever you start recording? Before you start recording?
Oh my god, I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a total pickle, to be honest.
No, it's like perhaps that a bit of anxiety, perhaps,
Yeah.
and I wonder what would it take you to end up being a cool cucumber.
I always like to see myself as a cute cucumber, but I am not. Right now I look completely fine and whatever, but like just before I hit the record button, I'm like I'm freaking out a little bit, but yeah.
But much better than it would be for the first episode.
Oh yeah, certainly. I actually had an entire dance of like whatever just to get the shame out of me to start recording. So yeah.
So perhaps, as you can imagine today, or perhaps you cannot imagine, but we're going to be talking about idioms with food.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope that you also consider that these are pretty excellent.
Oh, that was a bad joke. Excellent.
Okay. Okay, let's be honest. Rox is gonna be focusing on the idioms that are really useful for your English and just gonna be just saying silly play on words and dad jokes.
Okay, well, keep on. I think they're going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, let us commence, please.
By the way, a short break for a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not food related, but which is the best pet or animal you can have? Which is the best pet?
The dog, right?
The cat. The cat, you know why?
Why?
Because it's perfect. So if you thought you're the only one telling dad jokes.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that when editing the video, you will know, guys, you will be explaining what purr means.
Yeah. You're gonna have a bunch of. So this one you should be watching it more than the others because we have a bunch of visual cues, so you understand all the silliness that is coming out of my mouth.
Okay, so first thing first, I have a question for you. What drives you bananas?
I do not know. To be No, I don't know. No. Well, I mean, what drives me bananas is definitely. I would definitely say pizza. I'm thinking about food. I'm not thinking about anything else. So right now, I'm thinking about eating pizza, and I love it with anchovies. People hate it, but I love it so much.
Oh, no, it's pretty good because the taste that different, I don't know, it tastes pretty strong. So you could tell that it has a good taste.
Yeah. And what about you?
Well,
Drives you nuts.
well, I don't want to spill the beans.
I like that one.
I do have to admit that sometimes some student drove me bananas.
Oh, really?
In terms of anger. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry. We're humans after all. But I could just count that with, I don't know, the fingers of one hand. It's not very common. But perhaps, people who are not that constant with your studies and they blame you for them not working and I guess that's not, that can make you go bananas.
I guess that is really difficult to remain calm, right?
Yeah, when apparently the blame is on you, even though you try to do your best and you realize that, had you worked more or had you paid attention or had you done your homeworks. So I guess that would drive me bananas at times, but it's not that frequent.
Yeah. I guess that is kind of like a big deal, right?
It is.
Again, this is really silly, but like take a look at the screen and you will see what the play on words are.
So yeah, some of our students or some people out there are really tough cookies.
Yeah, they can be really tough cookies. That's one of my favorite ones, I have to say. Makes me think of my grandma.
Your grandma,
Yeah.
was she a tough cookie or a sharp cookie?
No,
She's
her
one
cookies,
sharp cookie.
her cookies were always like really hard because she would leave them for days, and they're like, "I brought cookies," and then they were like fossilized. So every time people say tough cookie, like yeah, like my grandma's.
Okay, well, you have some visuals there whenever
Uh-huh.
you imagine a tough cookie.
But no worries. I do want to clarify something that Rox has so much room in her heart for
Mushroom.
students. Yeah, mushroom.
Okay.
Mushroom. You have so much mushroom in your heart for your students, even if they can be a little bit difficult at times. They can
Yeah.
be rough in the edges sometimes.
There's room for everyone.
There is so much room for everyone.
There is so much room for everyone, indeed. You're on fire.
I'm on a roll, definitely.
You can't stop this guy, you know. We decided, okay, let's try to speak about, like what are we gonna talk about when we're gonna be mentioning idioms with food? It's like we're gonna just play the words. We're just gonna play with the expressions and everything because I guess that we're pretty good at making jokes of basically everything.
I'm so into it.
Do you have like a joke book there? So you're the inspired? Because otherwise I'm like really...
I have to say that I do have my visual cues, but like,
Okay.
everything is coming into the right place. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Okay, so what else? We were starting with being a cool cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we were just following over the place.
Okay. Definitely, many students are not a cool cucumber when they come and do the exam, especially before.
Oh, certainly. They are definitely in a pickle where they feel
Yeah,
like they're
but
in a
I
pickle.
don't think that's because they don't know beans. As a matter of fact, many of them prove to be like really knowledgeable and they are aware of everything they have to do in the exam, but perhaps it's just a thing you can't help, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to relax a little. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, and tell me something that's a hot potato for you.
Something that is a hot potato for me. Oh my god, yeah, I have it. For my students, is something that they at least, well, not all of them, but some of them, they actually are in shock when I tell them that I don't fancy reading at all.
You don't fancy reading?
No.
I'm taken aback. I'm virtually taken aback. You're a pretty knowledgeable person. How do you, where did you get the knowledge from?
The streets. No,
You've
but
been
really,
roaming
like-
along the streets a lot then.
No, but really, I like reading is really difficult. Like when it's just that novels are not my thing. That's not it's not a piece of cake for me to read read
Okay.
novels. I just can't concentrate. But I definitely do think it's interesting to read a couple like I don't know, things-
Essays or
yeah, essays or something like scientific research or psychological things. I do fancy those. That's my jam. But
do you think it has to do with the short attention span? Would you read more when you were younger, but now because of all the technology and screens, you
not at all.
might
Not at
no?
all. I had always had a hard time reading. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was always difficult for
Well,
me.
thank God there are audiobooks.
Yeah.
You do listen to them, right?
Yeah, that's definitely something that I do. But again, I don't really fancy like the stories or novels. Like, not really.
However, I could tell that you have a finger in every pie. So how do you manage to have all this input and information by not reading it?
Well, I mean,
Well, you do read, but not long things.
but I do listen to a lot of podcasts. Like,
Okay.
I do fancy listening to podcasts. And after, besides Idioms podcast, of course, that's my favorite one. My second favorite one, it's called Science Versus, and they talk about things that happen, like when what's really the truth behind, I don't know, getting a flu. Is that because it's cold or something like that? And they explain the
Okay.
entire science behind it, and whether or not that's actually factual. And of course, that is also connected with other things. And they also sprinkle a little history behind that as well. So you are like having the full picture, and it's pretty interesting.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
There you are. But yeah, definitely a hot potato. It's that I am not that much of a big reader.
Okay, so it means the proof is in the pudding. It means that podcasts and more audio resources.
Yeah. Visual as well, perhaps. I mean, I do know how to read. I mean, I read the messages that you send when we're on Slack or something.
Thank God. Well, sometimes you don't reply on Slack, and I was thinking whether does he really know how to read?
I just thought I have to like see the words. It's like, oh, this word means
Uh,
this. This combination of letters means like HOW. How? Okay.
Okay, so basically writing is not worth the pudding.
Definitely.
I will have just to send you vocals.
Yeah, maybe that can work out. But yeah, that's something that people tend to be quite in shock when they tell them that. And then they say like, yeah, but I overcompensate that. You know that I can give you all this input about listening. Oh, that's because I do listen to a bunch of things.
Okay, so what I gathered from this podcast, and not just the idioms we have used, but also the information you have provided, is that everything is food for thought.
Yeah, everything is food for thought. And the entire reason of this podcast is my evil plan for you to not make me do something that requires reading. It's like, no, I can do the audio thing.
Okay, it's funny though that I had to learn this just by recording the podcast with you. We've been working together for years now, and I had no idea about your.
Okay, so now this is the biggest secret. We were supposed. I guess that I just spilled the beans.
Well done though. So, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this podcast. Please learn all these idioms, not the dad jokes though, because
I mean, your kids are gonna love it.
learn the idioms. They're gonna be really helpful, especially to gain more fluency, to end up talking, like a native speaker. And you have the whole list with idioms, with food, and related with food in the description below. Okay, guys?
There you are. So it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And remember that in the end, life is just a bowl of cherries.
There you are. So I hope that you enjoyed this one, and take care.
Take care.
Bye.